Here we're in a seated position using a landmine with a barbell. And we recently discovered that this is super useful for overhead pressing because we can get into a couple different positions using the same bar, same setup. All we have to do is just turn the body a little bit. So to really save the shoulders in an overhead press, we like to go with a nice neutral grip position using dumbbells or even a angled bar or neutral grip bar. And from here, we can drive that elbow and shoulder in upward position, then get into a little bit of rotation. A lot of people have trouble getting out here and going into a traditional overhead press. So the shoulder saver position is this, and a drive up. You'll typically see people with any kind of shoulder injury or limitations start by doing this in a half kneeling position. And yes, I would agree that starting a half kneeling or even standing or even seated on a bench is a more advantageous position for somebody just starting out. This might be a little advanced, especially when we start to take things out of the picture, like our legs, and put more emphasis into the core and torso. We also have a 45-pound standard barbell here. You can go down to something like a 35 or even smaller than that. Play with it, know what you're able to do, have fun with it, try this out. I think you're really gonna like it. So, neutral setup here, full press, same way we would do a traditional landmine overhead press with a little bit of extra lean into it to get that full overhead extension. Back down and up. But if you have healthy shoulders, we can start to turn away from this, but still stay out of that full directly overhead pressing position. So we take this leg over here, we turn it, basically put it in the same plane as the barbell. From here, we start to get from a neutral grip position as we were just in to almost an angled bar position. So from here, driving straight up. Now we're getting a little outside of the body line here, playing with the mechanics of the shoulder, what we have available to us. We're able to get a little bit more into the rear delt, also into the scap and the lat for good positioning and stability. Just like we're going into an overhead press. See, my hands are getting a little bit wider. Here you have to play with your position a little bit. I'd probably want to be out just a little bit further. That elbow went from being here, now we bring it out a little bit, 45 degrees off of the ribs, start to build a little more strength from the shoulder. And lastly, we turn again, just another click here, from about that 1 o'clock to a full 3 o'clock. Here, this gets a little bit more into what a traditional overhead press would be like with a barbell here and straight up. But the nice thing about this is we start in this normal position as we would with an overhead press with a barbell, but now as we go to press up, the hand is starting to travel outside and we finish out here. Most people can usually get out here in a traditional overhead press. Overhead, maybe not so much. You'll see the torso and posture start to break down. And for most people, getting outside here is going to be nice, safe, and stable to the shoulder. So, go into this landmine position. We're here, and turn away. You can see my setup looks a lot like a traditional overhead press with a barbell. And from here, I'm pressing out this way. Again, you have to play with your position a little bit. Here you start to feel a lot more of that medial delt, a lot more of the rear delt, a lot more of the lat, a lot more of the core. Landmine shoulder exercise, taking it from that neutral to that angled 45 to that full open position to go into that pressing overhead. You'll really feel that concentration through that shoulder girdle down to the lat and the big stabilizers. And being down here on the ground puts a large emphasis on the core and your postural position. Give that a try. Let us know what you think.